types of Facebook content. In this chapter, we will talk about effective content, content that evokes emotion, content that you want to comment on, that you want to like, share, save, and so on. How does one create interesting content, and how exactly does a brand work with this content? How should you interact with your audience? Let's take a look at some examples. The first thing we'll talk about is pictures and graphics. Now on the screen, you can see examples of picture and graphic content. How do you create a picture? Of course, it can be done by a designer, and that designer will draw you some sketches and layouts. They can be linked to your global brand book so that it is beautifully reflected in the feed, or just some kind of beautiful photo. There are a huge number of different services that allow you to make such layouts, and here I pointed out Pinterest for a reason. Many of you might say, what does Pinterest have to do with Facebook? If you, as a marketer, want to find out how to make beautiful pictures and graphics, you can go to Pinterest and find cool ideas. You can then use those ideas for your Facebook business page. You can work with stock photos, photo editors, and in this case, you can use stock photos. An important point to consider is that the future of graphics belongs to craft content. What is craft content? Craft content is now a fashionable way to say the word craft. Craft beer, craft bags, craft clothing, and so on. Everyone uses this word, and of course, Facebook uses it too. Craft content is content that you create internally. Craft content is something that is made in your office, restaurant, or store. You used your phone camera to take a photo and post it on your Facebook. The future belongs to craft content because Facebook's artificial intelligence algorithms understand what is shown in photos. For example, if a picture has been used all over Facebook by a bunch of businesses and brands, the algorithms take this into account. If it is a new picture, even if it's not super high quality, Facebook will automatically give it more coverage. The future lies with content that is unique and has not been used before. Can graphics be used? Yes, they can. Can you work with stock photos? Again, yes, but you and I are trying to look into the future. The reality is that desirable content is done in the craft format. What's next? Next, we have picture examples, which you can see on this slide here. This slide gives us an opportunity to solve some riddles. For example, a user writes in the comments what he would like for the new year, his birthday, and so on. Or for example, he posts some fun pictures about how cyber athletes work at keyboards, how designers work, and how hackers work in films. But this is natural, as we often see that hackers work like this. In general, this is how hackers are portrayed in film. So this would be an example of a fun picture to use. Everything on social networks is tuned specifically for fun and communication. The audience should be able to amusingly scroll through a feed and smile. It is designed in this way because if we just were to promote products and say, buy, 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 naturally people wouldn't like it. And of course, they would be less likely to laugh and leave a like. Next is photo content. Photo content is the future. Fortunately, our smartphones today allow us to take amazing pictures. This is craft content. What should be in craft content? It could be a photo of your product, employees at work, employees in a store or a restaurant. It can also be brand photos. If you invite a photographer, you need to brand the photo because people will likely repost it. This is the logo and the overlay of this logo. Next up is a photography contest that you can host. For example, you can tell people, we have a photography contest. Take a picture in our restaurant, post a photo, use the hashtag, and tag our company, our brand, and our business. After you see them start to post photos, you must choose one of them. Choose a cool or crazy photo that will get a positive reaction from people. Next is articles and text content. In the case of articles and text content, we should note that any content you post on Facebook has the ability to link to articles. For example, if you are a blogger, you can send an audience to your blog through Facebook. These can be large articles specifically designed for long reads. Many people ask me if it's better to write on their website or on Facebook. Today, Facebook is being indexed. Understand that any content that is posted on Facebook can be placed in the Google search engine. Please remember that it is important to post text content and articles on your website. Give a brief description on Facebook about what the article is about and say that you have all the details on your website. This is how you should transfer an audience to your site. These are links to useful sources: Peekaboo, 9gag, AdMe, etc. You can find topics that are similar to yours that you can use for yourself. For example, with coffee without coffee, 9 simple life hacks. So if you have a coffee shop, that would be a good article for your business. If you are in the shoe business, you can explain how to choose shoes. You can base your content off of articles or videos from a third-party source. We are not suggesting that you start sending out links to competitors, but if these are useful articles, share them. Here are some other examples: how to choose a jacket for the winter, how to choose winter boots, how to choose sneakers for running, etc. All of these are cool examples of articles you can use for your page. Next is news content. News content has become a very large niche. So what is news content? For example, you have a new product and you want to talk about it. Let's say you bake cakes or make cupcakes and you have recently created a new flavor. It would count as news content if you talk about your new flavor. News content can be company news. For example, you opened a new office or your company was voted as the best in something, etc. News content can also be about recent changes in your niche that your audience would like to know about. For example, let's say you run a type of beauty company and a new designer mascara came out. Another example would be if a celebrity came out with some new cool makeup. Right away, the audience will be interested. So you can talk about the new makeup, or you can offer alternatives that a user can use to reproduce the new makeup's results. Next is video content. What's the situation with video content today? Watching videos to the end is very important for Facebook's algorithm. The more a user watches a video and the more he interacts with it, the better it is for business. Many companies will make videos that users will watch till the end. Why do they do this? Because the algorithm loves videos that keep the user immersed in their platform. What kind of videos should be used on Facebook? Videos on Facebook are distributed in MP4 or MOV format. The maximum length is 120 minutes and the maximum size is 4 gigabytes. Why am I talking to you about maximum Facebook video sizes? Because if this is some kind of high quality advertising videos, such videos are very often provided to us by clients. For example, we work with a lot of online wristwatch stores. We receive videos from Tissot, Diesel, and we use these videos for advertisements. These make for really cool commercials. They're usually up to 1 minute. But how do different brands and other companies use videos to engage users? Let's use a non-business/commercial example for this next explanation. So, in this make-believe video, a celebrity's parents abandoned him in an orphanage as a child, but he fought and made his way to the top, etc. The whole purpose of this video was to tell this story in an interesting way so that users watched it till the end. Take a look at this slide. The same type of video can be used for cooking. People generally really love to watch cooking videos, and the user will finish the video so that they can learn how to cook a certain food. This is very important because later I will show advertising tools that can help you attract an audience and show what type of people you should be targeting. I'll go in detail about how to collect the audience that watched your video and use them in your advertising funnel. Here are some examples of the same type of video. Here we see an example from Lenovo. At Lenovo, we can simply pause and choose who you are: a snowman, some kind of merry Santa Claus, and so on. This can be used for absolutely anything. Some kind of Christmas ice cream, etc. This is just some senseless fun content that people enjoy. It's just some communication and interaction that you can have with your audience. The next section is infographics. What are infographics? Infographics are opportunities to show boring information in the form of a picture. The audience can share infographics and anyone can save infographics. With infographics, your main goal should be to show usefulness. Here are some examples. Infographics can help people solve simple problems by showing users how to do things. For example, how to apply cosmetics, how to clean a window, etc. People often save and share infographics with their friends because it is useful information. Infographics can be used for sharing useful information with your own audience. Here are some examples of infographics. Let's take a look at them. So these are some fun infographics. Or for example, an infographic from McDonald's can show what their burgers are made out of. There are also fun infographics that show you useful information, such as how visible people are at night when wearing different colors. This would be a useful example for car dealerships and car insurance companies because they show the importance of being visible when on the street or when driving. So infographics are a cool way to interact with the audience and share useful information and life hacks. The next thing I want to talk about is live streams on Facebook. Live streams allow you to communicate with your audience live. You can ask questions and communicate with the audience and find out what the audience likes and dislikes. Getting the general opinion of the audience should be the main goal. For example, there is an air conditioning company who wants to have live streams. They have an expert appear on their stream. The expert answers questions and talks about how often air conditioners need to be serviced and which brands of air conditioners should be bought. Questions for these live streams can be collected through posts as well. All you have to do is ask your audience what they are interested in on your Facebook business page. If you own a hairdressing salon, perhaps they are interested in what product they should use to dye their hair. Using live streams is a sure way to get the audience engaged because people are constantly turning to the internet to look for new information and ask questions. Facebook loves this format very much. Keep in mind that when you do your first live show, don't expect to get 100,000 listeners on your first stream. But if you keep on doing live streams regularly, eventually your audience will grow. The next thing I want to talk about is 3D photos. 3D photography is the ability to take a photo on a phone with two cameras. The 3D photo is displayed in a very cool way in the feed. When the user scrolls through the feed, he sees a 3D photo, as if it is moving. This again makes the audience pay attention to it. And in this case, any user, the same as with a 3D photo, can use a panoramic picture. I think you all perfectly understand that with the help of your smartphone, you can shoot a standard panorama. Any user can shoot a beautiful panoramic picture that displays mountains, forests, and so on. But if we're talking about an office/restaurant, can a 3D photo/panorama be used here? Of course. There are even special cameras that can make 3D videos. For example, our agency did the following at a restaurant. We brought a 3D camera and shot all day in the restaurant. But of course, you can't upload a video of that size. Remember that there is a 120-minute limit. By using the 3D format, we uploaded a 1-minute video titled, "How was your day at the restaurant?" It was sped up, waiters were running around, carrying dishes, and greeting people who came in. The audience interacted with it, liked it, and saved it. So what about 3D photos should you be paying attention to? For 3D photos to work, you need to subscribe to the Facebook 360 page. You need a phone with two cameras. And of course, Facebook understands this format and understands what 3D photos are. Unfortunately, 3D photos cannot be promoted with ads, but in the future, they may change their rules. If found, 3D photos are very pleasing to look at, specifically when there are elements of movement within the picture. Facebook has the ability to use events. An event is an acceptable type of content for your Facebook business page. You can get people to attend events by telling them some useful information about the event. Any company can organize offline events or online events and then share a link to it. You can compose a whole list/schedule of events and then direct people to the event through your Facebook business page. Events can be promoted, you can use events as a form of communication, and you can also post content inside the event itself. The event in the form of a post will be displayed on your Facebook business page. Here you can specify the opening hours and ticket prices. Here you can also share information about what is useful and what is not. Remember, events are created on your Facebook business page. Make sure the setting of your event is appropriate. If you want to gather a crowd of people and communicate with them over coffee, tea, or arrange some kind of lunch, all of these would be good choices. Don't forget to use advertising to promote it, because creating an event and talking about it is not enough to get the word out. So remember to use advertising tools to promote your events. It's important.